So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Women's Coffee Club. We created this club to provide a safe space for women to share and inspire each other. And this morning, our presenter is Victoria De Winter, and she will be talking about love and money. Who doesn't want to talk about the subject? They're the most powerful driving forces in human life. So Victoria, go ahead and tell the group, if you don't mind, about your background and why you decided to choose this topic, and then go ahead with your presentation. We'll have plenty of time for a Q&A at the end. So thank you again, everyone. And Victoria, go ahead.
Well, thank you so much, Rini, for having me again for as a speaker here for those beautiful ladies and myself too. I really enjoy presenting some topics that are dear to me. To start with, I'd say I've always been interested. I'm a person of love, definitely. Since my young age, I'm a peace and love type of person. Do not hurt others and be joyful. I mean, all those attributes of the spirit that are just wonderful human quality. The Dalai Lama also talks about those exquisite human qualities that we have in order to guide our lives and achieve wonderful things. So in my background, as far as love, well, I've been lucky and I've been really unlucky. My presentation is gonna be a little bit of my journey in all that, so I'm not gonna divulge everything in it. But yes, I had my joy like everyone, but I also had huge challenges in terms of love. In terms of money, same. Huge rewards and huge disappointment. So let's start with this presentation, and we're going to see the ups and downs, but how we can also overcome those challenges, because I personally think too that the more joy you have, which elevate our frequency, as we know. If anyone doesn't understand sometimes the language that I use, but I think everybody does, just please, raise your hand and we can stop. It's a conversation, okay? I don't want to monopolize in all that, and I'm going to keep it, to a 30 minutes, and then we engage into Q&A and conversation. So let's see, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so since I have a new Zoom, I have to allow to, oh God, that's interesting. Oh, share screen, okay. There we go, that should work. I have this new computer. Maybe it's gonna make me, oh, I'm gonna have to leave the meeting and log back in. Okay, sorry about that.
She just bought a new computer and just installed it. So probably there's some glitches. I think it was like a couple of days ago that she decided her old computer died and she started a new one. So let's see.
My computer is getting slower and slower, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to get a new one here pretty soon.
I know, that's annoying, isn't it though?
It is.
Somebody's
But I'm
in the
grateful
way.
that we can do it. But grateful for
Yeah.
computer, Zoom, and all of these wonderful ladies that we get to talk to all the time. And
Yes. Omega, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I think I'm gonna go
Morning.
off camera. I'm gonna be moving around a whole bit, but I'm listening.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
good to have you, Omega, and of course, good to have you all.
Hey, Victor.
Sorry for the little interlude. I have a new computer. My other one died, and the settings were not conducive to share my screen, but here we are. So I'm gonna share the screen. Yes. All right. What is love? What is love? We ask ourselves these questions, maybe, am I a loving person? Do people love me? Do people love me? Actually, we know deep inside that we are loving people, but we can also question, I'm like, do people love me? Do people appreciate me? and like to be around me. So these are topics we're gonna talk about and converse about. Now, what is money? Those driving force, love and money, money and love. And is money love, or is love and money? I mean, those two topics, we bounce around between those two forces. And what I'm experiencing is that those two things, which are somehow very separate, because love is good, but love is always good. Money is not always good. Money can be good, but money is not always good. And I remember my mentor, Bob Proctor, told me, we always have love, accessible in our lives, but we don't always have money to pursue our dreams. So how can we put those things together? If you don't have a good attitude, if you don't have joy, or if you're an angry person, or also a mean person, we see a lot of people in this world who are really, really mean, and they use the money for it as well. The energy of this universe, basically this energy that flows into and through us, can be used either way. We make the decision basically on how we want to use it. So I decided that I am love, and I have lots of money to actually share. I don't know if I said that in my previous presentation some weeks ago. When this was at least like a good 15 years ago, I was in my massage practice, and one of my clients asked me a question, and actually she commented first, and she said, Val, at that time I was Val, so that's okay. She said, Val, I'm also a psychic, and if you'd like, I can do a little reading, because I see things in you that I think I need to share with you. So I'm a very curious person, and I decided, yes, go ahead. So we took an extra time after her appointment, and she said, let me tell you what I see. She said, in your past lives, you had so much love also, but also so much money. You didn't even know how much you had. You had absolutely no idea. All you know is that it was plenty and beyond belief. And she said, there is one thing that I see, though, that you missed all this time. You've always missed it, and is that you didn't share. So that's why today I want to share some ideas. I want to share some concept, things that resonate with me, and then we can talk about all that on how this reflects in your life. So I decided to spread the love and share the money. That's something that is really dear to me, that is my goal, my definite purpose, my burning desire. Okay, that is my burning desire. I want to spread the love, and I want to share the money. Doesn't mean that I'm going to assist people and giving my money out to everything. I mean, I choose my nonprofit that I decide to support, and especially what is dear to my heart are the homeless and the drug addicts. And there are a few, and particularly one nonprofit organization here in New Orleans, very much active. It's called the Odyssey House. I attended their fundraisers several times, and they have wonderful results with the people that they help. So that is in my bucket list. I started already donating, to this nonprofit, because when I see the homeless in the streets here in town, it just breaks my heart. It really does breaks my heart. Yesterday I went shopping, and this guy who was in a wheelchair, amputated of both legs. And I go in, and of course he asked me for some cash. And unfortunately, in this society that we have plastics this day. We don't have much cash in our hands. We can charge and withdraw and take money in, take money out of our account in a
Getting so scared.
yeah, And so I didn't have cash. And I'm like, sorry, man, but I really don't have cash. I have cards, I have my cards, but that's not helping. And he said, well, actually, I asked him, do you need anything? Do you want water? Do you want a soda? Do you want something to eat? I'll be happy to buy it for you. And he said, no, I'm not so hungry, but I would need some soap, some Lysol. He said, I put that on my clothes so it keeps clean. And I'm like, okay, I'll get you a bottle of Lysol. And then so I went in there, brought the thing, and I had a question to ask him to really understand what he wanted. Did he want a spray Lysol, or did you want a liquid Lysol? And so I came back and I'm like, what would you like? And he said, I want the spray one. Okay, so I go back and buy the spray one. But before I went back, he said, also, ma'am, would you please, if it's okay, get me a Walgreens gift card? You know, you can put money in their card and then they can purchase. He said, can you do $10 on the card? And I'm like, I will do that for you. So Plastic, anyway, yesterday helped me out to help a homeless person. So I went and I did the little shopping for him. I bought the card. Actually, I doubled the amount. It's not a lot, it's $20, but I doubled the amount on the card. I went back and I said, I want to spread the love and I want to share my money with you. So I doubled the amount on the card. You could have seen his eyes. I mean, for him, $10 more was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, you know, of living in the streets. So not that I didn't feel proud about myself, but I talked to God and I said, I'm sharing, I'm spreading my love and I'm sharing my money. Thank you for letting me having this money and letting me having all this love, you know, to care for people around me that I meet. So why don't we combine the two? Sometimes I just want someone to hug me and say, I know it's hard. You're going to be okay. Here's some chocolate and $6 million. That feels a lot better. A little chocolate is fine, you know, a little chocolate is fine, but give me 6 million. I'm going to feel really super fine, you know? So here's some chocolate for you. I don't have $6 million, but working on it. So this is me here in 1994 when I came to the United States. And when I entered New York from Athens, Greece, I was traveling in Europe, really with the bare minimum. Backpack, passports, that's it, and cash. So I entered I entered JFK with $5 in my pocket, literally $5. And although we had meal on board, I was a little hungry. So although I'm not too much on fast food, I know it's bad, but guess what? I had no choice. So at that time, I think the burger was like, I went to McDonald's and in the airport and the dollar was probably $1 or $1.25 or something, right? Nowadays, you go to McDonald's and you spend $10. So I got my food and I waited for my second flight. I was traveling from Athens to New York, New York, Atlanta, Atlanta, New Orleans. Because of the low amount of funds that I had, I didn't have cell phone, I didn't have credit cards, I didn't have bank account, I didn't have anything. It's just my cash, my passport, and my backpack. A huge sense of freedom, I tell you. When you have like no responsibility, but just to keep you afloat, basically on a day-to-day basis, to me was a great sense of freedom. But I had an address in New Orleans. I was heading to New Orleans. I had somebody that I had met in Athens. We had exchanged addresses. I had mailed him a letter saying, I'll be coming to the States, but I don't know when. So one day when I show up, I said, I hope I'll be able to contact you. And yes, he answered me because, you know, we were doing with mail. He answered me and he said, you're more than welcome. I'll be happy to host you and we'll see from there. So I arrived in JFK, got my $5, $1.50 left. I was like down to $3.50. I flew to Atlanta, and in Atlanta, the only way I could communicate with my friend was through a payphone. So I asked for some quarters, and I put a couple of quarters in the machine in a payphone, and I called him and I said, I'm in Atlanta, So it's only an hour and a half away, maximum, yeah, an hour and a half away from New Orleans. Would you please pick me up tonight? And he said, of course, I will pick you up. And so I felt relieved because literally I didn't know where I was going. I could have ended up sleeping on the floor in an airport or even in the street, you know, but that I was not afraid of. I really was not afraid of. I had everything I needed, my backpack, my passport, my little cash. And so I'm going to stay on that slide still since we are on this topic. So I call him, he picked me up, and wow, what a great experience I had. Although with almost no funds, almost no money, and everything I owned was with me, my friend took me on a little tour by night on St. Charles Avenue. He had actually a very nice convertible from those like 1960s, 70s. That was his parents anyway. He was a student at Tulane Medical Tropical Medicine program. And he took me on a tour in this convertible on St. Charles Avenue. So we strolled St. Charles with those beautiful mansions. I mean, I was in heaven. I knew I was safe. Somebody was there. I was not alone. And I knew I would have a roof above my head, and I knew I would have food in my mouth. That was all my major concern. That's all I was focused on, basically. And also being with my friends. Now, years after, well, I got married, so I was able to work. I was able to experience love in the marriage, which didn't work out. So I had my challenges with love, and actually to talk about love, it was at that time. This person, I don't know if some of you know, but we got divorced, and then we got back together, and the second time was just absolutely tragic. It ended up with domestic violence. He didn't kill me, but I think that if he had pushed the button because he had a loaded gun in his hand, it could have been the end of my life. It could have very much been the end of my life. And for that, I am very grateful that I'm still alive today, and that somehow God protected me, you know. But that was some really challenging time in my life as far as love is concerned. Peace to his soul. He passed away now. But I keep peace, I keep joy, I keep love. I don't have any resentment. That was his karma. I'm different. I was the victim, but I don't act like a victim anymore. And I never did, actually. My friends and the people that I related to after this accident, I'm going to say, were bedazzled to see how fast I could bounce back and say, how come you're not effective? How come? And I'm like, because I don't want to. Because I don't want to. And that is what my mentor, Bob Proctor, told me. What do you want? How you want to live? And as far as, you know, Bob is really big on money, as far as, you know, and he told me one day when I was in Toronto, years after, okay, so we're jumping into time, years after, he told me, money is easy to earn. The first time I heard this, and I was face to face with him in Toronto, I wanted to tell him, well, for you. Yeah, money is easy to earn for you. And so anyway, I said, but I think it's a crazy idea. You know, I have an idea of, you know, earning money while I sleep so I can be a force of good in the world. I said, this is totally crazy. And he said, well, yeah, it's crazy. Yes, it's irrational, but guess what? It is possible if you want to, if you believe you can, because whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're totally right. So yes, money is easy to earn. You know, we just got to get into the right frequency to attract it, whether attracting new clients or growing in your business because you're learning other things and making your business more fruitful for things and the services and the products that you can offer to your clients. So I'm going to stick with that. Money is easy to earn. We have love. We always have the choice of love. And whether I almost lost my life, I chose love. Okay. Now, the doubts, our paradigms, like we say, that doubts kill more dreams than failure ever will. All those successful people that we see around on TV and books and you name it, they are successful, but guess what? They have also their challenges and they fail. Failure after failure. We've seen geniuses, you know, who continuously try to fulfill their dream. You know, Edison to bring electricity, Elon Musk to make us fly to Mars one day. We're not here yet, far from it, but it is possible. It is in the mind of some man. So when we chose to live in love with a lots of money, we've got to eliminate any doubts. An ounce of doubt will kill everything. It will prevent clients to come to you. It will prevent money to come to you. It will prevent, you know, any growth in your personal life or in your financial life. Spiritual life, that's free. We don't have to pay to talk to God. You know, we just go in our rooms, close the door, and talk in secrets. So of course, we all know, be grateful, but be obsessively grateful. It has to become a magnificent obsession to be in a state of gratitude, whatever it is. I was so grateful that my friend picked me up in New Orleans. I had no money, I had no home, but I was obsessively grateful that he picked me up. And in my life, I have those, because probably of my astrological chart, I'm an Aries person, so fire sign, and I'm a Scorpio as well. Scorpio actually is a sign where we experience drastic change, whether it's for the good or for the bad. Drastic, like when I almost lost my life being at gunpoint with someone in front of me. But I remain and I choose to be obsessively grateful. Let's don't forget about that in any topics of our life, and we all know. So this is my happy place. My happy place is I'm in love. I'm in love with me. I'm in love with the world. I'm in love with what I do. I'm in love with you guys because you're here with me and I can talk to you about my experience in all that. Let's stay in our happy place, the frequency of happiness, okay? As a matter of fact, since I just became an American citizen, the Declaration of Independence, we have three rights: the right to life, the right to liberty, and the right for the pursuit of happiness. I keep this very dear to my heart. I am pursuing happiness. Oh, look at that. I'm having fireworks behind me. Where does this come from? Thank you, Zoom. I'm grateful. Thank you, Zoom. So let's be happy, okay? I spend time definitely in meditation to quiet my mind, to quiet the noise inside of what's going on, you know, my endeavor in my pursuit of establishing a real good business. You all know that I quit my job at the studio. I'm done. I'm so done working for other people. But it took me a time to get into the right mindset for this, you know, to make the decision, I can do it again. I've done it in the past, but then after the pandemic, I was scared. I was scared to go and touch people. I was scared to be on my own again. I had lost my mojo. Definitely, I had lost my mojo. And so through this time, I just went into prayers, into meditation to hear my inner voice. What is my inner voice saying? My inner voice is talking about love, first and foremost, before it can talk about money. I want to be on the frequency of love because love has always been, is always here, and will always be, always. So don't forget to spend time with yourself, even if it is 2 minutes, just quiet. Okay, we all know that. Now, this little guy here, does anyone know what this graphic means? Or does anyone have a question about what this graphic means? Anyone? You can come up if you don't know.
It's Bob Proctor's signature, and it's got all the paradigms, and it's your subconscious and your I can't remember if he calls it unconscious mind, whatever he calls it, but yeah.
Okay.
And then it's like what we're doing in the realm, and then what we can create outside.
Right. So exactly. Thank you so much, Lachelle. That was that's definitely Bob's signature. It's called the stick man. It's called the stick man. And the stick man, as we see here, this is the head, this is the body. The head, our mind, we have right here on top the conscious mind, which is our thinking mind, our reasoning factor, you know, the things that help us navigate in this life. So that's the conscious mind right here. And then under here, we have the subconscious mind. It's not the unconscious, it's the subconscious, because although I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not going to go into detail about that. All I know is that the subconscious mind is always, always, always active. Even when we sleep, when we go into slumber, we become unconscious. The subconscious is alive. And that's what allows us also to open our eyes. You know, isn't that a lovely to talk about love? Isn't that a lovely perspective that we have faith? We go to bed, we know we're going to wake up, and we're at peace with that. So the subconscious mind here is always active. And it's also the place of our emotions. And that's why those two are so linked together. You know, we feel, we think, we feel, and then here's the body. We act. Okay. Whatever we think, we're going to feel, and we're going to act accordingly. If we feel real good, we're going to feel real good, and that is going to help us engage into some wonderful endeavors, hopefully. All right, so that's the stick person. I just love this artistic way it got presented, and I keep that in mind all the time. Money is flowing everywhere. Money is flowing from the ether, and money is produced from my actions. So what I choose to do is I just dance to the beat of my own soul. I don't care about what other people think of me. I really don't. I really don't care. I know I'm a force of good. I know now that I'm earning income. I know that my life is good. And that's how I start my day. And I'm grateful every day for this beautiful day that is coming up with wonderful endeavor. As a matter of fact, I've got a story for you on that, and that's coming up. So dance to the beat of your soul. Get yourself in that frequency of love. Feel the joy, feel the peace of being in love with yourself and with the world around you. Be bold, be true, be kind, be you. Just be you. One day I got to the naval base in New Orleans to go and watch an event that the Blue Angels were performing. The Blue Angels, I mean, I've always, being an Aries, I'm very fast in my decision. I love that everything is fast. I love when everything just move, get on it, get on it, get on it. I thrive on that. So I think maybe in my past life, I might have been a pilot at some point in time, but not now. But I took this picture, and it was a fun day. It reminds me that go for your dream. Shoot for the stars, you know, or shoot for the moon. You're going to hit some stars along the way as well. Okay. Be bold, be true, and be kind. Of course, kindness is one of the fruit of the spirit, with love, with peace, with joy, faithfulness, kindness, gentleness. But also these last attributes of the spirit, between the love and the money that allows to have what we have in life, is self-control. The self-control of our emotions. the self-control of our emotions. Because when we control our state, our emotional state, we can produce better results, abundant, phenomenal results. So here I am, here in 2024. I changed my life from being a backpacker with $5 in my pocket to being an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur with different activities, different multi-streams of income. I've decided to go back studying, you know, as we know, the digital world. I invest in currencies. I'm learning all kinds of things to become a trader, to become a trader on platform and work from home, and it's working wonderfully. Of course, I've invested a lot of money for it. You know, you got to spend money to get money, and sometimes we have fear. We don't want to spend the money. And what if I lose the money? What if I lose the money? Will I still be loved? Will I still love myself? And that's the connection between the two. We need to stay in that frequency of love, no matter what. This little book here that you see on the bottom, it's called You Too Can Be Prosperous. It's a very spiritual book by Robert Collier. It has spiritual attachment, and on how this spiritual attachment can help you to become extremely successful in life. I'm going to check the chat here. I see some people. How come I cannot get my chat anymore? That's interesting. Okay. Rini, would you check the chat and see if somebody has a question? Because for whatever reason, I can't access it. Let me know if anyone has a question. So this is what I do, and I love my life. I really do. I love my life. I love what I do. I love what I earn. I love what I share. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life because I enjoy going to the beach, put my feet up, and just watch the water move away. Now, I had a story about watching water, looking at the sea. And I can't remember really, but I'm gonna paraphrase. When you look at the sea, actually, when you look at money, love is always here, okay? But money sometimes it is a big topic, because when we don't have it, it's like oxygen. We suffer so bad. We hurt. We can't get the things that we want. We can be homeless. So, but when we look at the sea and when we look at money, let's look at money the way we look at the sea. Do you think that the sea is not going to be here tomorrow? No. Tomorrow, the sea is still going to be here. Maybe in 50,000 years, not sure, but that's another story, right? That's another story. The sea will always be here. Money is always here. Love is always here. So that's why when I get to the beach and I love to meditate on the beach, of course. Bob taught me actually how to make clouds disappear. No kidding. I tried. It works. Cloud disappear with the power of your mind. Yes, indeed. Sounds totally irrational, entirely delusional, but it's true. It's true. So take the time also in your life to appreciate. Appreciation is a time of nourishing your riches from within. So here I am here for my oath ceremony last May 13th on 2024. I had my court, and Binta was here because they all treated me like a queen, for sure. I felt like a queen. It was so beautiful. My friend Paul organized everything. They took me on a carriage tour in New Orleans, and I was just waving to the people. It was a wonderful time, and I'm so proud to be an American. I'm so proud of this country for life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Here's the judge here who granted me my citizenship, and this judge here is from Vietnam originally. He had the most adorable and touching speech I could ever hear from a judge, because as far as attracting to you what you're looking for, what you want, first is being in the right state of mind, in a state of mind of love, in a loving state of mind. Sometimes citizenship can take years, months, years, you know. And for whatever reason, even my attorney was amazed on how quick. I applied for citizenship in December. In May, I'm an American citizen. 5 months. 5 months. Why? Because this judge here happened when he's a Vietnamese originally, and on May 13th, 24 years ago, that was his oath ceremony. So he asked a specific permission to court in New Orleans to preside this particular oath ceremony. So when he gave the right, when he gave the citizenship to 50 of us were in the audience. He saw himself in the audience. A lot of love there. It was so much love in this room. And look at his smile on how pleased he is to welcome new citizen, remembering what he went through as well to get it. So work hard, you know, love, we don't have to work hard for love. Love is free. It's just a power decision, your state of mind, how you decide to live. Do you want to decide to live in love, or you want to decide to live in resentment and always complaining and so on and so forth? Okay, so working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. We create our own stress. When there is stress, there's not much space for love. We're taken in this tornado of stinking thinking. I'm facing a few things at the moment in my life, and I tell some people, stop the stinking thinking. I know what's going on. I know that the world can actually blow itself up. We might not be here tomorrow, but guess what? I choose not to, because whatever we think about, whatever we focus on, expands. We make it bigger than what it already is. So working hard for something we love is called passion. I decide to be passionate for love, no matter what. There is no space for doubt. There is no space for negativity. I refuse to live in negativity. There is no space for this in my head, in my mind, and in my heart. So I live passionately in love, definitely. And some years ago, I decided to, I developed actually a passion for wellness because I got sick. One day, I got a abnormal pap smear. I was developing some fevers and well, was not feeling good at all. And I decided, I'm like, okay, I want to learn. I want to learn who I am. I want to learn how my body operates to be able to live a pleasant life, you know, at least a healthy life. So I learned all this, and I developed really a passion for wellness. And I have a business in cosmetics as well, an online business in cosmetics, and I love it. I love it. You know, I take the time, I do my things. People tell me, you know, I'm 58 years old. But guess what? I do my due diligence because I want to age with grace. I want to age with love. I may not find a partner ever in my life. I hope I will. But it's not my main priority. My main priority is the love for me and the love I can give to others. And this passion that I want to help people, men and women. Some men are very, you know, also diligent about the way they look. So I help those guys, those men as well. Here it is, my friend Binta. Through this endeavor of being so much in love, of being so dedicated into what I want to achieve in life, I've developed friendship, you know, that will sustain the ends of life, definitely. I developed very, very strong friendship and also partnership. I'm in business with Binta. I definitely am. And I want to expand, because the more I expand, the more she will as well. That is my sharing. That is my giving. That's what I do. Some people said, oh, I don't want to do this because it's going to make you money. No. If Binta makes money, I make money, and vice versa. So these are very dear to my heart. Those relationships, those partnerships are the foundation on how I operate these days. Of course, I develop also not only in cosmetics, but being a massage therapist by trade, when I see people, especially with things on their spine, I'm not a chiropractor, so there's nothing I can do with that, but I can relax the muscles around, okay? So the spine can be a little bit more flexible, okay? So I developed passion for that. I studied the human body, physiology, anatomy, and so on and so forth, to understand how I operate, because I really don't want to be sick. In the end of my life, I'm not going to be in the hospital. I know already. It's going to be a different thing. I will leave for sure for the second or further part of my eternal journey, but it's not going to be in the hospital. I'm not going to give my money to the hospital. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is me here in my massage room. I became a nationally certified massage therapist. I love my job. I just love to relax people. And so in my endeavor where I earn money, I love what I do. It's not really work. It's just a pure pleasure to be around people and helping them releasing stress. Because as we see, when we are stressed, we disintegrate. When we're not stressed, we actually expand. This is me again with my apparatus right here on the top. These are Ashiatsu bars. I walk on people's back. I walk on people's hand. I walk also on people's shoulders. I walk on people's legs. And I'm only 4'11", so you can believe that America is a country of very tall people. Very, I have giants in my clientele. Their feet goes above the table. I call them my giants. They love it. I have somehow a really good loving relationship also, not romantic as we know, but loving as human being. So coming soon. So what happened here? When we keep the love in our hearts, independently of the circumstances that we're facing, like I said, I'm having some things that I need to take care of in some matters and take care of my team. But I decided, I'm like, no, I'm not going to choose fear. I'm not going to choose doubt. I'm going to stick to my belief that I am in love with life, with people, and I'm in love with growth. And yesterday I woke up. It was actually 6:30 a.m. I went to bed at midnight because I was really in an uncomfortable place. So I went into meditation, and all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm gonna contact people. What time do we have here? I need to. Okay. Oh my God, I've been talking a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go fast. I started making a list of chiropractors and all that to contact, to go and try to work somewhere again. And I make a list, and I'm like, I'm gonna send some resume and everything's gonna be okay. Everything is going to be okay. That's what I told myself. And then finally, I'm like, I need to contact this woman. She's a friend of mine, and we don't see each other, much. I think the last time we communicated was 3 or 4 months ago. Her name is Abby. And I texted her and I said, Abby, how are you doing? And she said, I'm great. How are you doing? And I said, well, since you're asking, I'm like, are you still willing to have a massage therapist in your place? She has a barbershop, very successful barbershop, downtown New Orleans. And she said, as a matter of fact, yes. And I said, well, can I come in and see your place? She said, yes. In 5 minutes, I was in her facility. In 5 minutes, I had my business in her facility. This is my new business here, Nola Mobile Massage. I have the address. I have everything set up. And here it is. I went to visit the facility. The massage room has a double doors. To me, that's my castle. That's my castle, double doors. Here's the place. It needs some refreshment. This is really nice, but that's before. I don't have the after pictures because this is right now in the making. And it happened like that. Like Bob says, it happened like that because I chose to be in love instead of being in fear of what's going to happen, you know, if I lose everything. And here is again, I have a view on the street, big windows, and to be continued, to be continued. There you have it. Guys, love each other. I love you. And we're going to make a ton of money. I assure you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Val. Wow, I love your presentation. You know, when we started this conversation, you think about love and money. You don't know what Val was going to be talking about. You know, it turned out that money is all about attitude. We have choices and options on a daily basis. So next week, Val and I are going to continue this conversation. I have a cancellation, so I'm going to use the time for the two of us to continue this conversation. I think all of us sometimes have restriction in money because we think that, you know, for some reason, money is controlling our lives. But we're going to turn that around and that make money becoming the vehicle. Money is a tool. God put money there for us to utilize for the force of good. So that's the conversation. So I need all of you. It's going to be a conversation. It's going to be a discussion. I want you to think about what restriction you have in your life. Why do you think? I know, Kathleen, you're moving, and Lachelle, you still have a job. Omeka, I love your expansion lately with this gold and silver and how she's just moving forward. And Tamra, you have your coaching business, and Lori with your jewelry business and whatever. And I love for all of you. And Jane, you know, we're with your astrology. I love it. I'd like all of you with your knowledge, expertise, and where you are today to come back next week because we're going to have an open discussion. Each of you will contribute that all of us, this is going to be all of us talking about money and happiness and mindset. Like, where are you in your life with related to money? Sometimes you're in the business that you feel is not helping you, is not supporting your purpose, or not doing what you wanted to do. But really, is it the money or is it you? You know, Val said, regardless of the circumstances, things are going to happen. The economy is going to move. Inflation is going to be there. You know, somebody's going to die. Somebody's going to live. You're going to lose your money. You're going to, the question is, how do you respond to all of these? What are you doing with your life? Do you want to choose to be happy, or do you want to choose to be restrictive? You worry all the time and it's driving you crazy on a daily basis because you don't know how you're going to pay the rent or whatever. So next week, I invite you to come back with your topic, with what you're experiencing. And I think this group is here to support each other. We're here to support you in whatever you're going through. This is a sisterhood. That's why we have this thing together. Binta and I and Val, we know each other for 3 years now. And we kind of started the coffee club together, and then I took off with it. So I invite you to come back next week to continue the conversation about money. But in the meantime, I'd like your feedback about what Val is talking about. So Lachelle, start with you.
Let me grab something so you can hear me better. I just don't like having the There we go. I just don't like the having, you guys can hear me better now.
Yes.
I really appreciated you, Val. I love your heart. I love the pictures, and I loved your story of the throughput. And it reminded me a lot of stuff that's been on my mind and my heart. And so I, fingers crossed, I can be here next Thursday. If not, I'll be here in spirit. But yeah, I love your passion for life and how you are looking at things, because you could choose to be a victim, which most people choose to be a victim and live in that victimhood, but you have chosen to overcome and be the victor and Victoria. Is that why your name is Victoria?
Pretty much too. Well, it's long. It's the story of love. I was 9 years old in France. I was watching Dallas, the TV series. I saw Victoria
Oh.
Principal. I fell in love with this woman. I really did, and it's been in the back of my mind since 9
That's
years
funny.
old.
I just, as I was speaking, I was like, wait, victim to Victor, I think her new name's Victoria. So
Thank you,
thank you. I
Lisha.
appreciate it. And
Yes.
I'm going to have to hop off soon because I have a meeting for my JOB.
Thank you.
No problem. We're happy to
Michelle.
have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Kathleen, what are your thoughts?
Victoria, I just adore you. You're such a beautiful person inside and out, and I loved hearing your story. It's so inspiring. You're so inspiring, and love it just comes out of you. Your energy is so wonderful, and I believe in the same things that you believe in. I think I'm just still working a bit on letting the love shine out from me like you do. You know, there's certain people that you can just feel it in their energy. You know, being around certain spiritual leaders, people who just are living from love, and you definitely exude that. And I feel it for me on the inside, and I'm still working on getting that to shine out for me more, so that I can affect all the people around me like you do. Your energy is contagious, and thank you so much for sharing this beautiful story with us. And I look forward to all of us talking more about this next Thursday. Thanks, Victoria.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much,
you,
Kathleen.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Yes. Binta.
Oh man, I'm just sitting here, Valeria and I, we are constantly on each other's ears. We talk all the time about everything she talked about today. And for me, being in this country, which you spoke beautifully about, I was at your ceremony, and when I heard the judge share his story, it brought so much tears to my eyes, because we are so blessed to be in this great country of America. You know, this is where my dreams are coming true in this country because of the people I have surrounded myself with, who have helped me to shift my mindset, especially when it comes to who I am. So the first thing you talked about is self-love. To be able to express the love for humanity, for the world, you must first love yourself. And for me, that also has to do with every day getting up and meditating and just connecting with myself. When I know what a special human being I am, what a special jewel I am, then I'm able to see that in all other people outside. I no longer judge myself, and I no longer judge other people, and I no longer, get involved with all this negativity about myself, who I am and what's happening and everything. I just know that everything that's coming to me is through source energy, through God. But I have to act in order to reach those, to reach my desires. And everything that you talked about, I'm seeing it happen in my own life, how things are coming to me. people, opportunities and business opportunities, they're all coming because I align myself with my desires and I act and I take out all the negativity. I'm not going to solve the world. There's always going to be problems in the world, but I can't solve it. I can solve it. The only thing I can do, I can just sit down and send love and prayers and just good vibe to human beings. My desire is to own so much so I can become wealthy, so I can do good in the world. My affirmation is money is easy to own. The more money I have, the more good I can do. And that is what I'm working on. I'm working on building my foundation in Africa, which is being registered right now, so I can help my people. I know how lucky I am to leave my village in Gambia, West Africa, to be in this country. So I don't want to take that for granted. I took so long because I did not know who I was, and I was playing small all the time I was here, up until recently, just a few years ago. And so I want to make sure that I give back to my people. I'm so grateful to be here every day. And I write about it, I speak up about it out loud to God, and I know how lucky I am. My family, I tell myself, I'm the luckiest woman in my family. I'm the luckiest, because I know what my sisters are going through. I know what my brothers back home and nephews and nieces are going through. I want to be able to alleviate poverty at home. And I want to be able to do that for the whole world. And that's what I have to say. And Valerie and I, we talk all the time, and I'm so grateful for her. She's here in New Orleans. We get to see each other. We get to connect. We get to celebrate our joy, and we get to talk about our ups and downs. But she's here, and that's why I'm so grateful, because I have people in my life who always keep me under high momentum. So thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you so much, man. This is so awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Binta, as always. Lori.
Hi.
Hi.
So first of all, I think that your spirit is very blessed. And I just want to thank you for not letting the world dim your light, because I think the more people in the world that have light such as yours, the more successful our world will be. And for me, I truly believe that, I've always been a person that's been able to give a lot of love and to share it, but now I'm doing it in more intentional, meaningful ways. And it has definitely made a huge difference in my own personal life, as well as the lives of others. And as you go about doing that, it certainly does open up, for different opportunities and so on and so forth. So thank you for a great presentation. And I know that we're going to talk about it next Thursday. So
Yes, come back.
Yeah, exactly.
We want you to be part of the presentation about your life, about your story. We want to hear from you. I think that from week to week, we go to Mastermind, we have different presenter, but it's like, how do you apply all of these into your life? How are you using it? So next week is really about the application, and all of us will be presenting our story and how we handle our own adversity in life. So Tamara, you're next. It's after 8 o'clock, you guys. If you need to leave, let me, feel free to leave. I would understand. Go ahead, Tamara.
Oh, I thought it was a fabulous presentation. Great job. And I like how you were talking about the doubt part. If you even have an inkling of a doubt, it just kind of stops everything. And I've noticed that in my life. And as much I am in that same position as you, where I just try to give love to everybody around me, give good advice, or listen to them. And I do my best to be a good listener, which, sometimes the talking gets to me. I'm like, oh, but I know this, but just being a good listener and just loving on people is just where my heart is too. and wanting to help like the homeless. And I want to build a children's orphanage. You know, there's so many great things that I just think are wonderful in this world. And and like you said, when you're around so many people that are not on the same page, they can kind of drag you down. And so it's nice to get yourself around women like we have here in this group who like to lift others up and you know, give good advice, you know. So what you're saying here, and I love Bob Proctor's little man. I did a presentation with his little man one time, and I was just, I thought I did pretty good, but like everything, we're always learning and growing, you know. So just listening to yours today gave me some more insight. So thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Tamara.
Tamara, too. Pleasure.
Yes, thank you. And Omeka, I love Omeka. She is inspiring. She cared for her mom. She could have been complaining, you know, like you wouldn't believe, but she's not. She is always uplifting. I have seen her grow. I have seen her expansion. So proud of you, Omeka. Love you. And yeah, what are your thoughts about this topic?
Well, this is the topic all day, every day. So I thank you for giving your that version, but sharing your life story and your wins and your challenges. And yeah, no need to complain. I'm grateful. This is my view. And just watching the trees grow. I'm like, wow, the poke weed or whatever you call it is just, it's like 6 feet tall. I'm like, wow, those things were, a couple of inches a couple months ago. And just
Ooh, what kind of
just
tree?
joy, the rabbits, the everything. I'm like, yeah, I got to figure out how to. There's a certain time you could actually eat that, but the rest is kind of poisonous. But anyway, yes, the more I live, the more the miracles showing up. Just I was thinking about how I didn't plant tomatoes. Oh, I didn't plant the tomatoes. Oh, the seeds. I got all these seeds. I ain't plant. And I went to the store and they had 25-cent tomato plants. So I bought like 10.
Nice.
Like 10 of them. They were already started. I was like, well, plant them now. Let's say the best time to do whatever is 20 years ago or 5 years ago or 2 months ago. Well, how about right now? So yeah, just living in the now and just being grateful. Yeah, your whole presentation was wonderful. And thanks for all the reminders. And yeah, it's a lot of lessons. Being here with my mom and I went in the room yesterday and she was on the floor. I'm like, okay, it's not about why you're on the floor, how did you get on the floor, but how can I assist her? So I let her sit there for a while and then I tried to teach her how to get up on her own, but like I didn't give up, but it was like, well, I did all I can. I can't get her to get on her knees and push herself up, but I just went behind her and picked her up. And it's like a metaphor for life, Sometimes you can't help the way you might want to, but you can give a hand and pick somebody up or smile at them or get them some Lysol or, get them a gift card or whatever. Give them a reading or whatever. So yeah, it's just reflections of joy and abundance all around me. And I found some coins the other day. The box has been sitting up there probably for 20 years, and just things that I think about and things that we think about. If we just kind of open that other eye or just kind of are open to the abundance of the universe, like things seem like they just appear. And you said just like that, Bob Proctor. Yeah. And yeah, we could be thinking about, I wrote years ago, thank you for my $5,000. Thank you for my five over and over. It took about 5 years, but like I was gifted $5,000, but I had to do something to get it. So yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful life. And thank you for the coffee club and the Women's Coffee Club and all y'all beautiful people. But yeah, it was great to meet you, Rennie, and looking forward to meeting each and every one of you one by one, some kind of way. And if not in the physical, we definitely connected on the spiritual plane. Yeah, definitely. So love y'all all. everybody. All
Omega.
right.
Thank you
Take care.
so much for your share. Jane, love having you here, you know.
Oh my gosh, I love this Love Fest. This is, let's change it from coffee hour to the Love Fest hour. Open up your heart, come be with the ladies, and let it flow. It's good stuff. Victoria, your presentation, thank you for taking us along your journey. You described so perfectly to the point where I really felt like I could see the people on your journey thus far that you talked about, and that's so special. I so appreciate you sharing that, and I'm so glad we're going to be getting together next Thursday with Rennie and Victoria, because I missed the last, and I think it was maybe one of the first times that you had done a presentation together. I couldn't go to it. So I will be there next Thursday. You better believe it. And one last thing I got to tell you, that Aries Scorpio duo that you got going on, girl, is shining through. Holy smokes. She's passionate. She's got what it takes. She's an overcomer. Like, what a lineup, girl.
Yes.
Thank you so
fantastic.
much, Jane.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See, I think that's the thing, you when you look at the topic, love and money, you think it would be like she has a perfect life, that she has this love in her life that is so perfect. She has all the money she wanted, so perfect. And you didn't know you come to this meeting. She shared about having $5 coming to America from Europe with $5 in her pocket. That's the kind of story that we're talking about here, that no matter what your circumstances, no matter where you are in life, we all have been there, done that. Each one of us, I could just say, each one of us have our own experiences that really, it's a matter of our mind and our choice. We are in control. We're not a victim. We're not a victim. So that's a conversation next week. We want to uplift you. We love you. We want to support you. We've been going from mastermind to mastermind every week. I want to have that honest conversation next week so we all can take advantage of all the things we've learned. Like, what do we do with it? What do we do with this? We hear this all the time. Sometimes you're done with the mastermind. Okay, go to the next thing. How do you apply that to your life? So excited for all of you. Before we close, I'm gonna have Victoria the last word, and then we'll part and see you. I want all of you to come back. Tell us your story. We're gonna have enough time, or we're gonna try to make more time for the conversation rather than the presentation. So Victoria, go ahead and close this up, please.
Thank you so much, Rennie. Ladies, it is a pure pleasure to be in this club. I'm having goosebumps right now. For those opportunities that we share, for the downfall that we share, but we know we have the support and the love among all of us. And it is fantastic. I can say that I've lost in love a lot, even friendship of 20-something years, because those people, those ladies think I'm totally delusional, but I refuse to believe that, because I'm not. And I know being with you, having this type of support, I know I'm true. I know I'm correct. I know I'm right. It's not one person that's gonna kill my dream. Bob told me, don't let anyone steal your dream. Keep your dream alive, ladies. See you next week.
Thank you again. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. See you all next week. Come back with your story. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Yeah,
everyone.
happy Memorial Day weekend. All right, take care.